science just a big charade, making theories they just can't explain, on philosophically biased claims. Days of days, we break away just like a renegade, so pay attention, gonna get a grade. School and globus till they all awake. School and globus with diplomas and a chip on the shoulder. Debate is over, mind is sober, solar system disclosure. Can't go back once you heard the facts. You make a pact, never take the last. School and ballers and the followers that give them their dollars. They try to holler in the chat that you're a fraud, not a scholar. They hate y'all, that's why they attack. The earth is flat no matter how much they laugh. Days of days, pseudoscience just a big charade, making theories they just can't explain, on philosophically biased claims. Days of days, we break away just like a renegade, so pay attention, gonna get a grade. We school and globus till they all awake.
Opposition, and that requires you fulfill the burden of proof. If we see that the sea level is horizontal, that the horizon's just apparent, and that it's horizontal, and you're claiming no, it is actually physical, right? And it's curving, you have the burden of proof. If we see that the sun moves in the sky and you say, no, the sun just appears to move in the sky, but actually the sun is not moving relative to us. It's us that are moving, but we can't tell. You have the empirical burden of proof, right? You have the burden of proof to substantiate your claim that the Earth is the opposite of the default position. This is so elementary. The fact that some people are years into this and can't accept it is why Flat Earth not only isn't dying, it has a 99.9% retention rate. You people are the reason that Flat Earth will never go anywhere. It's the number one email I get. When I read the trolls in your chats, when I read the trolls on modern day debates chats and in the comment sections, and I watch the people that you debate act so disingenuous and such bad faith that they have to use nothing but fallacies, ad hom you, change the subject, obfuscate, gaslight you, talk over you, and interrupt incessantly, it makes me wonder, why is it that no one can defend the globe void of logically fallacious reasoning and morally reprehensible behavior? Is that all that they have? That can't be all they have. That guy must suck at debating. Next debate, same thing. Next debate, same thing. I'm like, well, I'll check the chats. I'll check the comments. There's got to be someone here that understands logic, that understands these people are also morally deplorable, that know the Earth's a ball, right? And then they realize that almost every single person does that. They change the subject. They straw man what I actually say. They have to lie about the true position of Flat Earth. They have to baselessly beg the question, boldly reify the model over and over, omit the realities of the conversation, and people are like, wait a minute. This is something you would have to do if you're defending a lie. This is something you would have to do if you don't actually understand or know your position. This is something you would have to do if you can't actually rebut the opponent's argument. And that's what makes them take Flat Earth seriously. It's the number one email that I get, is that there's no one able to defend the ball void of logically fallacious reasoning, morally reprehensible behavior, and toxicity. So if you think the Earth is actually a spinning ball, and you clearly seem to be so obsessed with this conversation that you frequent my streams, you frequent my debates, if you're so passionate that Flat Earth must be shut down, maybe you should start with step one and understand the concept of the default empirical position, understand logical fallacies, stop implementing them, and start providing real empirical, testable, and falsifiable evidence for the globe. Okay, and one more thing I do want to say. What I've realized is none of these people can answer these questions. Can you provide a specific thing that would falsify the Big Bang model? Can you provide a specific thing that would falsify the heliocentric model? And can you provide a specific thing that would falsify the globe model? They cannot answer that question, and that shows you they are not interested in having intellectual debate or challenging their ideas, nor, much less, have they even actually critiqued their belief that the Earth is a ball that's tilted, wobbling, spinning, revolving, an ever-expanding universe brought to them by Jesuit priests. They believe it, but they need to maintain that belief in such a way that it remains unfalsifiable. That is also known as religion. if you cannot test it, if you can't even intellectualize and articulate a way in which it can be tested and falsified, if it's unfalsifiable, it's useless. It's a religion. So ask them, how do we falsify the globe? How can we falsify the heliocentric model? And how can we falsify the Big Bang cosmology? They will not be able to answer. And if they do answer, they will only name things that we already have verified for hundreds of years that we know happened, like the motion of the planets, when the Earth model was made from the motion of the planets, that isn't offering falsifiability to the claimed causal mechanism of the motion of the planets that are perceived from the sky, from the Earth. So, there's a few things I wish scholars would understand. If your belief is unfalsifiable, it's a religion. If you can't articulate falsifiability, it's literally inadmissible in intellectual forum. It's just a religion. If you can't provide empirical evidence void of logically fallacious reasoning, it's inadmissible in intellectual forum. It's child's play. It's not even relevant to any real intellectual conversation whatsoever. It's laughably irrelevant. If you have to resort to gaslighting, ad homing, poisoning the well, obfuscating, red herring, changing the subjects constantly, muddying the waters, dragging people through the mud, throwing mud, slinging mud, if you have to do all that, you're not even allowed into the real big boys intellectual discussion. And if you can't grasp and acknowledge the fact that the Earth being a stationary plane is the default position, and that claiming that everything's actually the opposite of what we observe is the position that has the burden of proof, then you're also not even allowed in the intellectual forum. It's inadmissible. So, okay, cool. I know I just talked a lot to start the show, but I wanted to break all that down. I really hope people listen to what I'm saying, because if you think the Earth's a ball, you guys are breathing life into Flat Earth with the insanity that you guys propagate in the way that you go about the conversation. I have literally hundreds, if not thousands, of emails to prove that is the case.